Good Friday morning. It's November 27th here in the United States of advertising. I'm Guy McPherson of GuyMcPherson.com. Type those letters in, it'll take you to Nature Bats Last. And I'm going to provide a few headlines this morning and then an indication where the stock markets are headed at the open, or maybe midway through the day. We'll see. In any event, today's Black Friday. Black Fridays matter. And not only that, I thought I'd give a little insight into how Black Friday was named. It started in the 1960s, really took off during the Reagan administration of spend, spend, spend all the money you got in the 1980s. And it's called Black Friday because in the ledger books, accountants use red for negative numbers and black for positive numbers. This is the day after Thanksgiving, the biggest shopping day of the year. This is the day that puts all those retailers in the black, thus Black Friday, which is about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of stupid things. None of them from you, oddly enough. All right, going back to Tuesday, the last one of these that we released was last Monday, so the headlines go back to Tuesday. Dow Jones Industrial Average hits 30,000 for the first time. The latest milestone in a post-election rally turbocharged by promising results from 3 potential coronavirus vaccines. So the hope of a vaccine is underlying the steady upward march into record-setting territory for the stock markets in the United States. From E&E News, reprinting something from Scientific American, methane hits record high. Record highs all over the place. Methane hits record high in atmosphere as fossil fuel companies diverge. And the divergence here is in the subhead, oil and gas producers in Europe commit to reporting emissions, but major U.S. firms do not. So they're going to report, at least in Europe, they're going to report the emissions that are driving us to extinction. The United States, they won't even report the emissions, much less do anything about them. So, ain't that America? Something to see. Also, in the category of things rising upward, from the Wall Street Journal, U.S. unemployment claims rose to 778,000 last week. To put NPR's spin on it, unemployment claims jump for second week as pandemic rages. Things just keep going up. This is from CNN. Heat-trapping gas levels reach a new record high despite the coronavirus lockdown. So we can't even lock down and reduce our emissions. Even during lockdown, we have to go, go, go. Must go faster. Speaking of things going up, from CNBC, Disney increases layoffs to 32,000 workers as coronavirus batters its theme park business. Speaking of things going up, from CBS News, nearly 7 million Americans at risk of eviction when moratoriums expire December 31st. Ain't that America? Something to see. Speaking of things skyrocketing upward, from CNN, coronavirus hospitalizations hit another record as experts warn Thanksgiving gatherings could worsen the pandemic. The subhead, the U.S. enters Thanksgiving with coronavirus cases and deaths soaring and hospitalizations at record level. And on a holiday weekend that lends itself to big gatherings, public health experts still were begging people to avoid them, fearing the pandemic is about to become much worse, as generally occurs during the third wave. In things ever going up, from The Cut, America's food banks are totally overwhelmed right now. Ain't that America? Something to see. Stock market just keeps skyrocketing, and so does the number of people without houses and without food. Makes perfect sense in this country. And finally, from Wired, the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine data isn't up to snuff. Oh, but that's what's supposed to save us, is these vaccines. And the data aren't up to snuff, but apparently headline writers don't get a degree in English, so what would they know? Oh, I feel like playing another sigh. Tip of the hat to Beth and Daniel. This one is not the shocked sigh that I used last Monday, but the end of the world sigh. I know how you feel. So here we are, 9:33 Eastern Time, with a 30-minute lag between the numbers are released and when I get them here in Central Florida. And all three indexes are skyrocketing this morning. Or, as the Wall Street Journal puts it in an article from this morning, here's the headline: Dow, S&P 500 on track to end week near record highs. But don't you worry about the NASDAQ. It's doing fine too. Might not set a record, but it's going to come pretty close to it. The week is all up for all three major indexes. I'm wearing a black shirt today, not to celebrate Black Friday, which is disgusting and horrific, not to commemorate the Black Lives Matter movement, even though I think it's a profoundly decent and humane and just movement. I'm a huge supporter. Rather, I'm wearing this black shirt as my whole body black armband as I mourn and memorialize the country of my birth, which no longer resembles the country of my birth in pretty much any way except the name.